CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Election day is here, and it is one tight race between the Liberals and Conservatives. In Calgary, several battlegrounds are at play, one of which is Calgary Centre. That's where Tyler Barrow joins us from. And Tyler, what's the turnout been like today? And what have voters been telling you?
Well, Ian, here there has been a steady trickle of voters. Now, this riding is currently held by the Conservatives, but it is an area of the city the Liberals have a decent shot at winning. Now, for voters, there are two central issues: Trump and the threat of tariffs. Calgarians are heading to the polls in the city's 11 ridings, and for a predominantly blue area, several seats are considered in play, including here in Calgary Confederation, where the Conservative incumbent retired. It was mostly one issue that led voters to choose.
Because of Trump.
I mean, Trump, he's not here, but that was definitely on my mind.
I guess not really wanting to be 51st straight of our state of Trump. That guy is a scary human being.
A sentiment shared by residents in Calgary Centre, which is currently held by Conservatives. Some voters said they're confident in current Prime Minister Mark Carney.
Yeah, no, I voted Liberal.
We went with Liberals. I went with Liberal, and it didn't take me long to make the decision.
Other battlegrounds in the city include McKnight and Skyview in the northeast.
We have 11 seats in Calgary. I think 4 of them are in play. The Liberals have never won more than 2 seats in the city before. They have a chance at 4.
And as Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre tries to prevent a 4th Liberal term, Brad says this could be the most remarkable and historical election in the country's history. He points to the massive lead the Conservatives had in January, which disappeared after Trump took office and Trudeau resigned.
This will be the biggest political comeback if the Liberals prevail, and the biggest collapse if the Conservatives lose.
And as tensions heat up between parties and voters, Made by Marcus and Village Ice Cream are looking to help people cool off. Anyone who proves they voted is able to grab free ice cream.
And Tyler, we know there is great enthusiasm for the advance voting. What is the expectation for election turnout?
Ian, the political scientists I spoke with mentioned voter turnout for the election could be north of 75%. Now, for context, in 2021, it was under 63%. And there hasn't been an election since 1988 that was north of 70%. Now, if you haven't voted, there is still time. Polls are open till 7:30. Ian?
Tyler, thanks very much. Alberta Health says there are 18 new cases of measles in the South Zone. That brings the total of measles cases in Alberta to 159 since the start of March. The province is facing ongoing pressure from the Alberta Medical Association to increase public messaging and vaccination clinics. In Calgary, adults can only get a measles shot at the Sheldon Schumer Centre. To find out if you're fully vaccinated or to book a vaccine appointment, call 811. A man in Vancouver is charged with 8 counts of second-degree murder after an SUV ran over a crowd of people at a street festival. 11 people were killed, the youngest 5 years old, the oldest 65. Dozens more were injured in the attack Saturday night at a Lapu Lapu Day festival, a key event in Filipino culture. The tragedy has sparked an outpouring of grief and support for Canada's Filipino community.
We can get up from this tragedy. But I really hope together as a community, we are in Canada. This is supposed to be a safe place. And sometimes you doubt that.
Canadian Blood Services says appointments to donate blood are filling up as people respond to the need to help those who were injured. The psychiatrist who deemed a Calgary man fit to stand trial after fatally attacking a woman had concerns. The accused suffered from an underlying psychotic illness. Michael Adenyi has testified he believed he was attacking a creature when he stabbed Vanessa Ladouceur to death. Today, psychiatrist David Tano said the accused tried to downplay his hallucinations and also expressed fears about being kidnapped. Tano says in his initial assessment, he did suggest a further fitness assessment might be necessary down the road. Family and friends have identified the victim of Saturday's fatal stabbing downtown. 21-year-old Jonas Robert Ned Sutton is described by family as someone with a happy soul and who was tough and resilient. CTV News has learned from family that he bought his dream car just 2 weeks ago. Just before 2 a.m. Saturday, police were called to the 700 block of 10th Avenue Southwest after a large brawl where several people had been stabbed. 2 people were taken to hospital, 1 died, and the other was in stable condition. A 3rd was released.
We know there was a lot of people that were out, and from our initial review and what we see, there was a lot of people that were probably began to videotape this incident as it occurred and progressed. That's very important to us because that can help us identify all the people involved.
An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. 4 people were taken into custody. A crowdfunding campaign has been set up for Sutton's funeral expenses. Calgary police have seized more than $150,000 worth of fentanyl. Investigators say after a tip from Toronto area police, they've been monitoring a local drug trafficker for 3 months. Along with the fentanyl, police also seized 5 guns. 29-year-old Jacob Seal from Cochrane has been charged. The Calgary and District Labour Council is remembering Albertans who died due to workplace incidents. People gathered outside City Hall to mark the National Day of Mourning held each year on April 28th. Union members also placed wreaths in front of the city's staff memorial. The Calgary and District Labour Council says there needs to be a greater focus on workplace safety, noting more than 200 Albertans died of injuries sustained while on the job last year alone.
I think that is a tragedy, whether it's through a car accident or a traumatic event or an occupational disease like mesothelioma. A death is a death, and we have to take them all seriously.
According to the Association of Workers' Compensation Boards of Canada, just over 1,000 workplace deaths were recorded across the country in 2023. A truck lost its load on Stony Trail this afternoon, leading to a multi-vehicle pileup. It happened in the southbound lanes near 17th Avenue around 1:30. Police say a water container fell off the truck, and in an attempt to avoid it, up to 10 vehicles collided. Nobody was injured. Traffic was reduced to 1 lane while police investigated. A skier managed to escape an avalanche near Canmore this weekend. It happened Saturday afternoon in Miners Gully, which is near Ha Ling Peak. Avalanche Canada says a solo skier triggered a large slide after making 2 turns. The skier was carried about 600 meters down the gully, but managed to not get buried or injured. Officials say this incident serves as a good reminder for backcountry users to start and finish early during spring conditions. The afternoon warmth means stability can deteriorate dramatically. Jody is here with a look at the weather. Lots of sunshine today. That's great for heading out to vote, but a bit of a change by tomorrow.
Absolutely. So we're kind of following a similar pattern to what we did on the weekend, where we had that incredible Saturday and then led into a day of instability on Sunday with some mixed precipitation. Here's a view of how beautiful it was on Saturday. As a matter of fact, our friend Matt took a photo of the 3 sisters and sent it in to us. And today we are mirroring that with these beautiful temperatures. 17 for that daytime high today. We're looking at tomorrow being a little bit colder. It's not as dramatic of a change, although on paper, when we look at the daytime high from Sunday, it was 13 degrees, but that happened just after midnight before we did a really rapid decline. Our temperatures across the country for tomorrow will also be quite warm to the central part of our country and then up along that east coast. We're at 14, which is a seasonal temperature for us, but after that day of instability, we can look forward to a nice period of some persistent stability. Here's why we're looking at that instability initially, though. As we get into the evening, you can see we have almost zonal flow coming in from British Columbia. There's that low that was creating some problems for us over the weekend. And as we get into tomorrow afternoon, there is going to be a bit of cooler air infusion in along the foothills. This is going to kick off that instability and the potential for some thunderstorm activity. After that, we have a ridge of high pressure that moves in, and it will be anchored. So we have two low pressure systems on either side of it. This will enhance the period of time where we can expect that warmer temperature to stick around. Here's some of that rain that we're going to see in the afternoon for tomorrow. Those yellower areas, that's where you're going to see those pockets of heightened instability, potentially some thunderstorms as we have those clouds really bubbling up. And as we take a look at what comes in after that, that's when we have our nice warm temperatures all across the region, including here in the city of Calgary and our surrounding communities. It looks like this by temperature: 14 degrees for tomorrow, 17 on Wednesday and 21 on Thursday. Friday and Saturday, we're now into those mid 20-degree temperatures, and we'll stay there as we get into the beginning of next week.
Looks great. Thank you, Jody. WestJet is bringing the garden into Calgary's airport. Today, the Aspire WestJet Garden Lounge opened. It's an extension to the existing YYC Transborder Lounge in the U.S. terminal. Guests can enjoy complimentary food and beverage service, high-speed Wi-Fi, charging stations, and shower facilities. The lounge is believed to be the first in Canada with an interior garden concept. While WestJet passengers have priority entry, travelers from other airlines are able to purchase entry to the Garden Lounge too. Thanks for joining us. CTV has you covered this election day with national and regional coverage. Tune in starting at 5 p.m. Calgary time for all the live results, reaction, and analysis. Have a great night.